What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh discussion video. It has been a long time. I just got to start off with that. I am so sorry that I have been gone for so long. A lot has happened the last few months with coronavirus going on, or COVID-19 that was going on, the whole pandemic that was going on, and I actually had a lot of stuff going on with family and me moving actually. So, yeah, I have been away from YouTube for a very long time, and then I've been missing out on Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's content for you guys. So, today we are going to be doing a pretty it's not gonna be that long. I'm gonna say this. I originally was just gonna do like full reviews, but since that might even take like hours long, I decided to kind of compact everything down to just a simple little video. Today I'm just gonna be going over episodes 1 through 5. Yes, I'll be going through all the episodes that we have so far. Actually, at the moment, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's is not going on. It is supposed to return on I think June 13th. Yeah, June 13th. I was making sure I was saying that correct. But it will be returning June 13th, and then I can start doing more Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's content when it's actually coming out. So I decided to take this time while we still are waiting to kind of do a big episode bash, I guess. But the reason, and for you guys wondering, well, why don't you just do separate episodes? I don't think I have the time to be able to do that. I still have life that I have to live, and I don't think I'm going to be able to post 5 episodes consistently on here. So I decided to just, you know what, let's talk about everything in this one big video. So hope you guys enjoyed. This is going to be a little bit different than what I'm doing. I'm used to just giving whole details on the episode and then my thoughts on it. I'm going to try to do that briefly. I'm hoping this video is it's probably going to be around 30 minutes, to be honest. So grab something to drink, grab something to eat, and let's get into this. So what I'm going to start with is before we get into each of the episodes, I've decided to rank each one of the episodes that we have. So we've had 5 episodes so far, and I'm going to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. Now, I want to say this when I rank these. I've actually enjoyed every single episode we've had so far. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's has been doing really well for what I expected. I thought this show was going to be bad, and I probably would have resorted to trying to do something else, if not do anything on this channel. I wouldn't really do much on it anymore, but I didn't know what I wanted to do yet, so that was kind of a little scary thing. But Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's I've actually not had a problem with, so yeah, I can't wait to talk about each of the episode. But let me go and rank them real quick. And I've thought about this for a while, and I know what I rank. So I'm gonna rank it from least favorites to my favorite one from the 5 episodes. So my least favorite episode is episode 1. That's kind of, I'm pretty sure that's not a shock. I'm pretty sure that's for everyone. My second least favorite would be episode 5, the recent one that came out. Then episode 2, and I would have to say episode 4. I always tear between 4 and 3, and then my favorite being episode 3. And I'll kind of get into why I liked the episodes in that order. So I guess now, how about we get started with episode 1? So let's start with episode 1. Honestly, this was my least favorite episode, but I still liked it. For me, this episode was definitely the more cornier one out of them all, because this show has not been serious like how Reigns was. This is more of a comedic show, so if you're looking for something just to laugh to, I think this anime will be really good for you. I thought it was pretty good. We actually got to see Blue Eyes White Dragon, and probably that was one of the reasons why I actually decided to watch it, was because I kind of wanted to see Blue Eyes White Dragon in action again, since we haven't seen him since Duel Monsters. I mean, come on, nostalgic reasons. Why wouldn't I want to watch it? Plus, I kind of wanted to learn Rush Duels a little bit better. I understand how the game works before, but I wanted to kind of see how it worked in action, because obviously with Rush Duels going to be the new thing, in fact, we don't even got a new type of summoning mechanic, which is kind of honestly, it's a fresh air to me, because of the fact that, there has been so much with links, pendulums, Xyz, synchro fusion, ritual, all of that. it just is overwhelming to newer players, and I feel like rush duels are really going to help with that. It's really going to slow it down a lot more and kind of bring it back to the simple times when we really had was just monster spells and traps, and we can just go ham, or it'd be like every 6-year-old kid that just basically did rush duels and just spammed whatever they want. Heck, they probably spammed a blue eyes white dragon if they wanted to. Like, come on, I don't see why the problem with it is, but yeah, I didn't really like the corny aspects of it though. It felt a little bit weird, but honestly, it was still good. I'm really interested in these characters. My favorite being Rook. He's so mysterious with that power that he got. You know how he took down that like floating robot thing. I don't know what that's all about. It's like I guess it's like I know it's like the teachers of the school, but I don't know what that's really about. I guess they're just drones flying around. I know like they mark you for penalties because Yuga kind of had that because he was trying to hack into his dual disc and he ended up getting his fifth penalty, which is kind of funny how the series has done a lot of sixes for some reason. I don't know why, but that's kind of funny. The duel, I really did like the duel. I think it really what one thing that I really liked is how the series just say we don't care if it's nostalgic or not. We'll do this series how we want to because literally they just obliterated Blue Eyes White Dragon. And honestly, as much as I love Blue Eyes White Dragon, I think that was probably good if they made it like because they made it look like oh my god it's Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's not like it was like this unstoppable force, but like they were just amazed by it and like how are you gonna stop this? Like how are you gonna be able to do it? Like he had zero cards in his hand after basically getting shotted by Blue Eyes White Dragon, and doing the whole 5 card draw thing. It's pretty cool as well. But like I love the oath that they still pay oath to it, but they're saying like, okay, we'll pay our oaths, but we still want to do the series how we want to, and if we want one shot Blue Eyes, we're gonna one shot Blue Eyes, and I really do respect them for doing that. That way they don't feel like okay, since Blue Eyes is this big idol, they don't have to like they have to make this thing indestructible basically, and that no one can take it down. So I like how they did that, but other than that, I do want to say though, and we haven't got confirmation on why this was where you really saw it because this is where it was done the most. What was her name? Roman? Yeah, Roman. What was her with taking the pictures? She was taking pictures of Yuga, Rook, and Gakuto. Gakuto, the purple-haired guy. He was taking pictures of them together, and I don't know what that was all about. We'll talk about that a little bit later as we see something in later episodes. But that was kind of interesting. I don't know what that was all about, but hopefully get more confirmation on that. Rook actually caught her doing it and was questioning, but she basically was able to just slide by and ignore it. So I think that was kind of funny. But other than that, Yuga wins the duel, which is no surprise. I'm actually not surprised that he won that duel. But and now if you because it looked like when you started when they started the series you still had your master duel like dual disc, but now everyone's dual disc is in shape to that 7 form. The rush duel format is now in there, and then this big old door opens and ends the episode off there. So really did like the episode. I do wish that it was a little bit better, not really that much corny, but it was still a good episode overall. And yeah, let's go straight into episode 2. Episode 2 was a good episode for me as well. I really did like I don't know where to start with this because there was so much I wanted to actually talk about. Let's talk about Rook because this is the episode where we really get more into Rook's character. So, he's an interesting character. He's probably my favorite character out of all of this because he's the most interesting. As I mentioned before, he had did the thing with his hand. Apparently, he believes that he has this like dark kind of power. Like he was like walking in the road and he noticed this power and he thinks like the devil is like a devil basically, and instead he has some like purpose. I can't remember what he fully said. It's been a while since I've watched episode 2, so forgive me. I didn't even get the chance to rewatch it. I actually had to rewatch episode 1 because I completely forgot, and then I had some memory of episode 2. But Anyway, but he had the dark power. Yuga and Gakuto making fun of him, saying it was like some type of I believe it was like a kinetic theory or something like that, saying like if you do something certain, you can be able to cause a shock. It's I guess it's kind of like how like if you rub your feet against like a carpet or something like that, and you then feel touch metal and you feel like shock. It kind of works in that way. So I think that's kind of funny how they kind of implied that to it, even though he doesn't believe it. And I will say though, I do have some. I don't, it's not a theory, but you guys can notice too. If you're watching the episode when he was putting on his dual disc, you notice that he takes his watch off for some reason. I don't know, it's because he just doesn't want that to be on and get in the way of his dual disc. But it looks like his dual disc goes a little bit further, so I don't know what the point of that is. But it definitely has something to do with that watch of his, and I can't wait to see one more. But Roman still being mysterious as always. She still was doing the picture thing, but she was more hanging around. And now we go into the duel with Rook and Yuga. Another I shouldn't say a predictable duel. I mean, the opening kind of led to it looking like Rook actually was beating Yuga in their duel, even though the layout was different. But Rook does win this, and actually, thinking about it now, this is the first time in a little while that we had a protagonist lose that early, and I didn't really think about it because even though like Yuma, yeah, he lost in the first few episodes, but Yuma is Yuma. I think the only time, actually, I think it was the only time we ever really had a loss was never mind. There was two. There was the one with Yugi where he technically lost to Pegasus when he did that whole game, but that was more of a draw result to be honest because the duel didn't actually finish. But the one that might be most notable is the one with Yuya and Yuzu. And sorry if you use dub names Zuzu or the sub names. They had their duel, and because Yuya couldn't remember how to pendulum summon, he actually ended up losing the duel. What I liked about this was it was legit. Like Yuya didn't lose because he forgot how to rush duel or he didn't know like what to do. Like he didn't know what his cards were doing or anything like that. He just lost. Like he just lost a duel, and I really do like that. Love Rook's deck, dude. I love his what was his ace Rush Dragon Dragears. I love the design of that card. It's probably my favorite other than Gakuto's Ace Monster that we will talk about in a little bit, but I love his Ace Monster. It's a really powerful card. Believe when with a yeah, it was when if your opponent still has a monster in the field when you attack, you're allowed to make a second attack. So you can get two attacks and you can basically deal massive blows. Actually, no, I take that back. It's when when he defeats a monster, does he attack again because he attacked Yuga directly. I forgot about that. Sorry about that. But yeah, there much not to say in the duel. They were trying to. They also like tried to record it. Like they're trying to get it all in media, but we learned quite a bit that that ain't gonna work. But we'll talk about that a little bit later, way later down the line. But I guess that basically was the whole episode. We kind of got a little bit more info on the characters, but I want to talk about the individual characters more on their main episodes because the first four episodes was mainly talking about each one of the characters, with the first episode being Yuga, second being Rook, the third being Roman, and the fourth being Gakuto. I liked how they kind of did that, where they focused more on that their character line. So yeah, that's as much as I wanted to talk about for episode 2. There was not really that much really other than that. So I'm done blabbling. That's how about we get into episode 3. So the next two episodes I'm going to be very excited to talk about. These two episodes were probably my favorite out of the two. I really wish I didn't rank them because I kind of am in between them. But let's get into episode 3. So episode 3, I really did like that episode a whole lot. We really got to see more of Roman's character a lot. She's probably my second favorite. No, she's the one I'm most interested to see how they're gonna do with her because she is so suspicious that we need to learn about her more. Like as much as I like Rook, Rook is probably my favorite character out of the series, or like out of Yu-Gi-Oh 7 so far. But Roman is the most interesting. Like she still did the picture thing, and we learned late at the end of the episode, which I'll talk about that in just a second. But in this episode, she basically confirms is like she doesn't like the duel. That's the first thing we learn. And if you guys know the past with Yu-Gi-Oh girls, that might be a sign of, oh no, oh no, no, no. They are not doing this right now. Because if you don't know, past Yu-Gi-Oh girls have not done very well. This would be because I was honestly afraid this was going to be like the Tori of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, and I thought Tori was alright, but she needed a duel. She was just a cheerleader, and I didn't like that kind of aspect. That she was definitely not my favorite girl lead lead girl character. So at least she got the duel in this episode, even though she doesn't actually have her own deck. We learned that she actually duels with a spare deck that Yuga had, and you can easily notice with some of the monsters he had. And mind me, I'm not gonna be able to name any of these monsters because I'm not very well at naming them. I only remember the main ones, and I even have a hard time remember Gakuto's. I'm gonna have to look that up because gosh dang it, I'm not gonna be able to remember that. But the she Yuga basically wants to get her into dueling, kind of get her into the whole rush deal, kind of get her into fun. She accepts after a little bit of kind of backtrack or like back and forth, and it's kind of funny. Rook and Gakuto have been suspicious of her in this episode. At least they don't play dumb. Like they want you to think, okay, she's really suspicious. So they're gonna try. They're doing this plan, or at least Rook is doing this plan to try to get dirt on Roman to try to see what is she's up to because he thinks she's a Gohan. I believe that's what the city's called. Gohan. Gohan City. Yeah, Gohan City. That he thinks that she is a spy and that she's trying to spy on Yuga because of his rush duels, and I think that's kind of clever, out of line, or like out of the question. I don't think that's what she is, honestly, especially after this episode. I don't think she's a Gohan spy. I don't even think I thought that way from the beginning, to be honest, but that's just me. But let's talk about the duel. The duel, probably my favorite on the episode, and what makes the episodes my favorite is the duels. I really did love this duel. It really got to show a lot for like she was. This kind of showed it like us, like for newer players. Like this is Roman. She doesn't really duel. I don't think she even dueled at all. It seems like she's never dueled before. So she has like his robot, which, whoa, what was it, Kaizo? I think that's what the robot's name was, like Kaizo or something like that. But he has basically the Kaizo helping her out if she needs any help with the duel, which is kind of funny because he kind of was fangirling over her at the beginning. Oh god, that scene actually made me laugh. I that was the only scene I laughed though, but god, I've had a smirk in this because it was funny. But we do get to see her ace, surprises them all because you think like, oh, she wouldn't have any ace monsters, and he gave him a spare deck, so she doesn't have a really hard card she would use. But she pulls out her ace monster, was I think it was Prima Guitarism or Guitarist or something like that. I guess I don't remember her name at all. Jeez, but it was like Prima Guitar, the guitarist, and I'm gonna say this. I love her effect. It's really cool. You pay 1,000 life points, and I think it's for every monster your opponent has. Your monsters gain 300 attack points. I believe that's what it was. Got Prima up to 3,100. Destroys 7 Road because he had got it in the previous turn, and basically just goes to ham on it. But I will say this before we continue with the duel, and this is something I noticed recently when I went back and watched episode 1. They are doing a lot better with the graphics. It's starting to look a lot better like a Yu-Gi-Oh show. It looks actually like what the old format was. Still got that little cartoony effect that you see from episode 1, but they definitely are improving with this, and I really do respect that. It really gives us to the older fans that love that art style, because I love Yu-Gi-Oh's art style a bunch. I wish more animes would do it, but it's at least they're trying to still contribute to that. But Yuga does his classic Heart of Cards moment, draws 7th Road after activating a spell card, which gets back 3 monsters into his deck. He draws and gets to draw a card, draws 7 Road, summons 2 monsters, brings it back out, activates his effect, and defeats Roman, and ultimately wins the duel. So I think the duel was really good. I liked how it was structured. They still felt like a tutorial duel, especially episode 2 did. that as well. That's what I was forgetting. I didn't like the fact that it kept feeling like a tutorial. I feel like only one episode is enough. But hey, it's a new series. I'm not gonna complain. And then the final thing I want to talk about is the new picture. This guy, green-haired guy, which actually I think we got confirmed on him because this was recently. We got confirmed on who it is. Roa Kirishima, I think it was what his last name was, which is Roman's sister. If you remember, they are, because if you guys didn't know this, she was in a band, and her like band name is Roa Roman, or it's Roman Roa or something like that. I think it was Roa Roman, but that's her brother, and I'm intrigued to see what he's going to be in this series. I think he's supposed to be the rival character in the series, so I'm very excited to see what he's going to do. He actually has been receiving the photos that she's been sending. Why is she sending them? We'll hopefully find that up in episode 6, maybe, because it isn't explained in 4 and 5, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, overall, I really liked the episode, and let's get into episode 4. Now, let's get into episode 4. Episode 4, I really did love as well. This will be more because I really liked how they showed Gakuto in this. I respect him a lot more, I will say this. And man, I'm actually starting to grow on him a lot now, rethinking about it. So, in this episode, basically this was more to learn about Gakuto, as I said before. This episode showed how much he does for the school, as he is the student council president of it, and he really has a big role when it comes to this. It starts the episode off with Rook and Yugioh basically wanting to kind of get out more with their online thing for the rush duels, because they've been trying to get that out worldwide and decided to do it with a song basically. And since they have Roman, which is actually a popular YouTube, I'm not even kidding, I bet she's a YouTuber, which I respect her for that. But they basically want to kind of get us song video out to kind of talk about rush duels and kind of get people excited for it and all that kind of stuff. And then Gakuto comes in, kind of slanders them for it, decides to sing the what was it, the Gohan like anthem, like, you know how like you have the Pledge of Allegiance, well, like when you're in school you're like, I'm pledge allegiance to the flag, yada yada yada. I don't want to get copyrighted to say the whole thing, but how he sings it, he's just horrible, kind of funny, and I love it. Don't I'm And you know what's kind of funny? I just remembered this. It's kind of funny the fact that he may have sound so bad, but his VA is actually a singer. I love how they did that. If no one knew that, man, that is a treat for you to learn. But he does that. We see later in the episode how he goes to these different things. He plays soccer. He does something with the roof, which I don't know why he's doing that. I don't know why a kid has to do something with the roof. I think it was something broke, or like he had to fix or something like that. He was doing that. He would do all these chores for the students. Like, it really made me respect, because he wants to be appreciated. He wants to feel like, his main thing is he wants to feel like he's being useful. He's being able to help these people out, and I really do respect him. His characteristic reminds me of what Yusuke Kitagawa from Persona 5, and I didn't get that vibe at first. To me, I love Yusuke Kitagawa. I love Persona 5 a lot, and the kind of when I first heard that comparison, I was like, "You out of your mind." He does not remind me at all, but he's starting to grow on me a lot, and he kind of reminds me of that figure, that weird, goofy figure, but that lovable figure you can respect it. You can understand what he does, and I really am. I hope he grows more to my favorite. Honestly, Yusuke is one of my favorites, so I hope he kind of meets that role in this Yu-Gi-Oh series. So we'll see what happens, but he does that. But he does turn from that when he basically says he wants to ban rush duels from the school. He thinks it's a hassle and he doesn't want to deal with it. And then that causes Yuga to get involved, saying he wants to duel him. And Yuga accepts, or Gakuto accepts. After all, whole thing that he was doing about, because I forgot that happened a little bit earlier. He does that. He gets ready to duel. He wears this weird Shogun kind of outfit. I don't know what the heck that was all about. But then he has his two assistants, like basically holding his duel disc, and the other one drawing his cards. Kind of funny, to be honest. But he plays really defensive in the first episode. He plays a face down, and apparently he's dueled with Yuga a lot. So it's kind of funny to see this in action, but he obliterates his field. He wants him to get serious. He actually takes the duel disc from one of his companions, takes the cards, and he's ready to duel. He places two monsters back in face down position, tributes them, and summons his ace monster, which I have it right here, Fiendish Commander Yami Ruler. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. But not Rush Dragon or Gears. This is my favorite design character, and I love how we were making the reference to Persona 5 Yusuke, because that kind of reminds me of Goemon. I don't know why, but I kind of see a resemblance to Goemon a little bit, and it's kind of funny. I might think his second awakening is a little bit closer, but that's just my opinion. But love the summoning of that. We also got to see the summoning of, what was it, Seven Roads Witch, I believe her name was. It was basically the Dark Magician girl of this series. It was good seeing her in this. They had back and forth. Yuga was on the ropes. He does his anime thing, and he wins the duel. I know I sound like I'm rushing that, but I want to make sure that I'm not doing these too long, but that duel was really good. It really shows his character as he actually, because one of the punishments is if he lost, he had to quit as student council president. And you can see that he didn't want to do that, but the fact that he respected that, I respect that character a whole lot, and I can't wait to see how much he grows in this series. I'm kind of excited to see that, but it gets all turned around away because he went against Rook in an election, and he obviously won, kind of making Rook disappointed because he wanted to become this king over all of them. But that's kind of funny. I really do like this episode a lot just because they really grow the character that I honestly despise. I didn't like him because I didn't like the goofiness from the first episode. Like, he was like my least favorite character. Like, it went Rook, Roman, Yuga, and then Gakuto. But now Gakuto's hit that third spot for me, and I can't wait to see what more he does for the series. Now, before we start talking about the final episode for today, I just want to quickly say thank you guys so much for watching this far into the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry this is not probably what you're used to. You're probably used to like the 15 minutes of me rambling, but because of time constraint, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm sorry if you didn't, if you wanted a full-on review. I am so sorry. I will definitely do that from 6 all the way to the end. I hope I can finish to the end of 7s. I plan to finish to the end of 7s. So let's see what we can do with this. And let me know in the comments below what is your guys' list for your favorite episodes. Who is your favorite character and why? And just what do you guys think of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s as a whole? I've been totally surprised at it. I liked it pretty much through the entire way. So love to know what you guys think, but let's get into episode 5. Episode 5 was my second least favorite, if you guys remember from the rankings. I don't know why I don't do this. I'm going to talk about this real quick, and I don't want you guys to be mad about me in this. I know this is a lot of people's favorite things, but I don't know why. One-shot characters. I'm going to say this, though. I did like this episode. I did like the duel between Rook and Bakuro, I believe his name was, which was the new character who was introduced. He's probably, I'm 90% sure he's going to be a one-shot character, which if you guys don't know what a one-shot character is, he basically duels one episode and that's it. It's basically a person that just fills in for that episode. So like for this you can call this a one-shot episode. Like this is an episode that kind of extended a little bit. Now I will say this though, I've actually liked quite a bit of one-shot characters in the past, and I did like this character a lot. I thought he was very interesting. My problem is there is not much you can learn from them. I wish you can learn their backstory a lot more. I feel like you can bond with the characters a lot more, which obviously a one-shot character is not meant for that, but That's always been my problem. I feel like if you're gonna make a character important, I feel like you need to kind of give them. Uh, I like the fact that they give them the background, though. I about to kind of counter argue that, but I kind of wish they actually would make him more relevant. I wouldn't say more relevant in the story, just more relevant in general, like they do more. And maybe he will be relevant in the series, but I really doubt it. But that's kind of what I want as a one-shot character. Even though he duels once, he at least has some relevance to it. I feel like that makes the character feel more important to me. But other than that, this episode was interesting. So the gang finds out that their Rush Duel videos have been getting deleted. Gohan is Oh, I just realized I never talked about the like the guy that leads Gohan. Like his character, he's interesting. Reminds me of Dark Vader. I don't know why. I hate Star Wars. People can hate me, but that's what he reminds me. Just doing the ha ha oh, like when he did that phone call was funny. He even did it in this episode when the things were getting deleted. I can't wait to see what this character does because oh my god, this is gonna be weird. But they find out their videos are getting deleted. They still want to kind of get Rush Duels out there more, so they decide to go to their school magazine out of all things. And Ruck basically does an interview with them, but finds out that they made the article, but they basically made a slander of saying Rush Duels were bad, they were childish, they were stupid, and that they even talked bad about Rook, how he's saying he thinks he's a king over everyone else and all that. So they go to them and basically do the whole exchange like, you need to take this down or else I'm going to duel you for it. They basically do that with the leader dueling Rook actually. It originally was going to be Yuga, but Rook thinks that he needs to do this because he believes that he owns Rush Duels, even though Yuga's kind of the one, because reasons, I guess. But they he wants to do them. They basically show the name of why Rush Duels are fun. He wants to show them that Rush Duels are fun and not like just dumb and not really that good. The duel overall, I did like. I think his archetype was really good. He ran like kind of like a newspaper type of deck, which really its real focus was to get its main monsters on the field is giant rollers. I don't have the name of them. I'm not gonna even look them up, but those three level 8 rollers, which I will say this and call me an idiot, I am, but I was so confused when they saw level 8s because I thought you can only summon one level 8 legendary cards. Dumb. Facepalm. Let's continue. That was kind of funny. That was the biggest derp I ever had because I was thinking like, why is he summoning so many level 8s? I'm glad he is, but why? Or like, how, I shouldn't say why, but how? But I forgot. And this is for people to learn. And you'll see this when Rush Duels, because I believe it will come to TCG. I hope to God it does. I don't have official sources. There's been rumors that it won't, but I don't see Konami not doing that because we're kind of a big part of its revenue, so I don't see how that would work. But he summons those monsters. He basically is wiping out the field. He activates one of their effects, which sends the top 5 cards from the top of his deck back to the bottom of his deck, and it gets 100 attack points for each card sent back. Ends up summoning Rush Dragon Dragears back to the bottom of the deck and gets the attack points. Plus, now we know that Rush Dragon Dragears is at the bottom of the deck. But Rook actually does a pretty cool move, and I like how he did this. So he attacks, he is about to lose all his life points. He activates a trap to returns a monster from the graveyard to basically help withstand the attack, and he ends up getting 100 life points. But the big thing is, he returns the card to his deck, which automatically shuffles it. So when he drew his cards, I think he drew 4 cards, ends up getting back Rush Dragon, does some plays to get 2 monsters out, gets Rush Dragon Dragears on the field, and just goes ham on him, dude. I remember the line that he said, just like, oh my god, it freaked me out. It was like burned to ashes, and I was like, dude, why? Like, what was that for? Like, he literally said burn the ashes as the final strike goes and hits him Bakuro directly, ending the duel when Rooks win. And oh my god, dude. I am loving this series. I will say though, I did not know that I would love this series, but I truly am. Because to be honest, I really didn't think I would actually like the series, but they've been doing pretty well so far, and I will be pretty shocked on that I didn't expect this to go very well, but he ends up winning the duel. Bakuro ends up actually liking Rush Duels. He thought it was really cool because, and I love the big thing they make with this series. The big thing about Rush Duels is there are many possibilities for comebacks. I love that whole saying in it, and I think it's really cool. But that was basically the episode, and then you get this little funny shot of Rook being the king, and then you have Roman, Yuga, and Gakuto as servants. God, I love that. I think I had a little chuckle in that as well, but yeah, that's gonna really be it. Before we ended, and I didn't talk about the this in their videos because I just wanted to talk about it at the end. Their summoning animations. Love them all. I would say probably Gakuto is my favorite summoning out of them all. Like the summoning chant for I don't know why. Other than that, I like Yuga's. I think what was it like? No matter whatever blocks my path, what was it? Walls, mountains, planets become the road that guides me. I think it's like become the road that guides me. Appears Seven's Road Magician. I really love that chant a lot. Rush Gears. I think it's just funny. It's like no, it was like what was it? Like there's no way you can stop me. There's like no way you can stop me. There's a reason why I said that twice. It was something like that. I can't remember the chant, but that was a cool chant, and I liked Prima's summoning. It was really cool, but Gakuto was my favorite out of them all. So I just wanted to let that out. But thank you guys so much for watching. Holy crap, was that a breathtaking? I'm going to have to get a drink of water after this, but I hope you guys enjoy. This was definitely different than I'm used to, but don't worry, I'm going to be doing a lot better reviews of the series. I'll actually go more in depth on the series. I just wanted to kind of get the basic gist. If people are not really wanting to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Sevens and are having a problem with it, I personally would recommend you giving it a try at least. For me, I'm giving it at least 10 episodes of trying. I'm still on the point of like, okay, if they lose something in these next 4 episodes, I'm dropping the show. There's no reason for me to keep on going. But it doesn't look like it's going to be that way. If you guys are looking for a funny Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, or just a funny show in general, you are going to like Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. Like, it's not as serious as the last series. Like, of course, it's going to ramp up later it goes on. But, honestly, it's been quite a surprise, and I've actually enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see if this turns out to be a really good series, or if not. Because honestly, this is still on the low side for me because I still have some iffies with it. But it can be a really good series. I don't think it's going to be my favorite series, but it's going to be a pretty good series. I think it has its potentials. So we're just going to see what happens. But I have talked long enough. You probably have done hearing my rambling. I'm going to get out of here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me down the questions I asked before in the comments below. What is your favorite episode? What was your favorite character and why? Your thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s as a whole if you watched it. And I'll add an additional one for you guys. You don't have to answer this one. What was your guys' favorite summoning chant? Like, I would like to know that down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will get more content when episode 6 comes out, and maybe I'll try getting some more content out. I have really been lacking in anything else but reviews and summaries, which I won't give summaries for episode 6. I might not give. I'm going to say this real quick. I'm probably not going to give summaries until episode 10. I'm going to let myself get back into the swing of YouTube, as it's been months, like literal 8 months since I've actually posted anything or done anything for the channel. So I'm going to try to get back in that rhythm of doing it. So we're just going to focus on just doing the reviews and trying to get some more content out other than reviews and summaries and stuff like that. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, take care and have yourself a good rest of the day and stay safe.